So I like to say Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutations to you brothers out there that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. So we're gonna finish off what we started in the other video, Jeremiah 51:5. They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, "Come." And that's what we're doing, man. We want to get out of here, man. For us brothers that's teaching, for us brothers that's, doing the will of Yahweh Shemi Shai with the best of our ability, we want to get the hell out of here, man. This place is hell, man. Shit, me myself, just to put out, a little bit of personal information. I've been out of work for 3 weeks. Almost 3 weeks because of my body is battered and damaged, man. It's damaged goods, right? Why do you want to be here and go through this hell, knowing that you got to wake up every morning, go to work, and then it's a possibility you could end up being hurt and being out of work and not being able to pay bills? That's hell on earth. Why would you want to stay here? So we pray to Yahweh Shema Shah. We pray to the Lord for us to get the hell out of here, man. For us to get out of this place. Right? It says, they shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, "Come and let us join ourselves to Yahweh in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray." And when it says their shepherds have caused them to go astray, who will be our shepherds? Our leaders, man. Our leaders is who wants to join with our enemies. So if our leaders are wanting to join with our enemies, guess what? We gonna join with our enemies. This is why we in the position that we in today, because we joined with our enemies. When you go to same book, Jeremiah, but we're gonna go to 10:2. I'm gonna start off at the verse first. It says, "Hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them." So it says, the Lord said, learn not the way of the heathen. But what our people want to do, our people want to follow after the heathen, and then we find ourselves in captivity under the heathen. Then we find ourselves begging the heathen to pass laws to help us, begging the heathen for clothes, begging the heathen for jobs, begging the heathen to work harder, begging the heathen for cars and shoes and chains and all type of nonsense. Why? Because our people are more dependent on the enemy than we are dependent on Yahweh Shemi Shai. That's why you got a small remnant of the so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans that's going to wake up to the truth and know that all of this right here is going to be wiped out, destroyed, and the Lord is going to deliver us from this, man. And all we have to do is do what is required of us. What is required of us is in the scriptures. Deuteronomy 10:2, to keep the laws, the statutes, and commandments, right? To believe in his son, Yahweh Shemi Shai. That's what's commanded of us. But our people will rather keep the customs of a people that don't matter. The Lord, he ain't with these Edomites, Moabites, Ammonites, Ishmaelites, Hamites. He ain't for them, man. What he's for is to have us put them in chains and have them work for us. That's what he's for. The Lord isn't for all nations. The Lord is for his people. He said, for what? Let's get it. Let's get this real quick. This is Joel chapter 2, verse I actually wanted to get right here, 27. It says, "And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am Yahweh, your power, and none else, and my people shall never be ashamed." So the Lord is for us, man. He's not for all nations. He's for the children of Israel. That's why when the Lord take vengeance upon these nations, it's gonna be it's gonna be on a different level, man. It's gonna be on a different level. Hey, what did he say when you go to the book of Genesis, I want to say it's Genesis 47:5. Nah, it's 45:7. Backwards. Genesis 45:7. It says, and the Most High sent me before you to preserve you a prosperity in the earth and to save you your lives by a great deliverance. So in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9, there is no new thing under the sun. The Lord is going to come back with a great deliverance for his people. And he's going to come back with those ships, with those UFOs, man. And he's going to do what? He's going to beam up his chosen and his elect. That's in the book of Thessalonians, man. I think it's Thessalonians. Give me a minute here. I think it's 1st or 2nd Thessalonians. So let me grab this. 1st Thessalonians 4:16. So it says, for the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet of the Most High. And the dead and the Mashiach shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with him in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord. So there you go. So the Lord is going to deliver the elect. He's going to deliver the remnant, right? And 2/3 of you so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are going to be put to death and be destroyed right along with America, right? But his vengeance, when his vengeance do come down, it's going to come down upon the nations, right? So going back to Jeremiah 50 and 6, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. And again, our shepherds are our leaders. And our leaders, who they would call, what they call it, Salakia, bear with me. Yeah, like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, Maya, what's her name? Maya Angelou, if I'm saying that right. Salakia, if I'm saying it wrong. James Baldwin, and who else? Like Thurgood Marshall, right? And he was one of the American foremost attorneys as chief of the NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund. He led the legal fight, right? So, are these so-called black leaders. And the thing is that these so-called black leaders wanted so badly to group you so-called blacks with the so-called white people. One of the best things that happened to you so-called white people after coming out of them chains was that they set up segregation. That was one of the best things, man. The segregation, being separated from your enemy, was the best thing that Esau did for you. But like I always say, and I always tell brothers this, Jake is like that nigga sitting on a bench, and you got a girl on a bench, and he tries to get closer while she scoots down more, and he gets closer to her. That's what Jake is. Jake is like that ninja on the bench who's trying to get close to a girl that don't like him. That's what Jake is. Jake wants to so badly get so close to his enemies that he don't see his enemies don't want to be close to him. That's what's wrong with Jake. But this is why the Lord is removing 2/3 from the righteous, right? So Jeremiah 50 and 7 All that found them devoured them. Right. All that found us devoured us. All nations. It wasn't just Esau. All nations devoured Jake. All nations laid the sword upon Jake. All nations took a place in the delicacies of the Lord's chosen people. All nations did. Right? Matter of fact, I think that's Revelations 18, isn't it? Hold up, Salakia. Right, Revelations 18:1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunken the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth have waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. So all nations had a part of the encampment and slavery and death and destruction of the Lord's chosen people, man. But I'm going to end it from there and say, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shah, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakaf Kodash, the belongs to the apostles and elders of GMS. And salutations to you brothers out there that's doing this work in true sincerity. I like to say shalom.